Okay, so for 14, my plan is to show two different ways of doing this one. So the first way I think is the more standard way of doing it, but I do want to show a second method. So the first one is to really use the slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. And so in the end here, we need a slope and a y-intercept. And so we're going to first work on finding out what the slope is. So the slope is going to be the change in y over change in x. So the change in y will be 8 minus 4. Change of x is 3 minus negative 3. 4 over 6. And that would simplify down to 2/3. So we know the slope, but we do not know the y-intercept yet. But we do know a couple points on the line. So what I'm going to do is put in the values for the points into the equation, and then use that to find out what the y-intercept is. So I'm going to use this one here, just because they are not negative. So I would do 8 equals, the slope was 2/3, and times 3 plus the b value. And so when you simplify, 2/3 times 3 is just going to be 2. You can think about the denominator and numerator canceling out, but it's just going to be 2. So I'm going to start off by subtracting 2 from both sides. And so I get 6 is equal to b. So now I know the slope and the y-intercept. So for the equation, I'd say that y equals 2/3 x plus 6. All right, I'm going to draw a line across here to separate the problems a little bit. And then I'm going to split this one a little bit here. So everything up here is going to be for problem 14. So I'm going to show you the other method for problem 14. And that's using point slope form. So if we already know the slope is 2/3, we calculate that the same way. We could write the equation in point slope form. So that would be y minus, and be the pick either of the 2 points. I'm going to pick the positive ones. So the 8 equals 2/3 x minus, and that value is 3. Then we want to rewrite this in slope-intercept form. Right now it's in point slope form. So I'm going to distribute the 2/3 through. And 2/3 times 3 is just 2. And then we're going to add 8 to both sides. So y equals 2/3 x plus 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at number 15. So I need a line through that point with that through point -5, 4, the slope of 2/3, and in point slope form. So they give us a point, gives a slope. This should be pretty straightforward to write it in point slope form. So we're going to do y minus, and then be 4. This is x and y. And then the slope is 2/3. Then x minus, and then the x value is -5. So then I was going to rewrite this again because I have the subtracting a negative in there. So simplify that little piece. All right, and that's it. Okay, then finally number 16. So it's a line with a y-intercept of 2 through the point 4,1 in slope-intercept form. So for this one, we have the y-intercept, we just don't have the slope. So we really need to calculate the slope before we do anything else. So for the slope, it's going to be change in y or change in x. Now the y-intercept, we can think about this as the point 0, 2. And so change of y will be 2 minus 1. Change of x would be 0 minus 4. That would equal 2. Oops. That would equal 1 over -4, or -1/4. So now that I know the slope, we can write it in the slope-intercept form. So y equals the slope times x plus the y-intercept.